My sister tried to steal the entire inheritance and set me up in court. My parents took her side until a stranger entered and flipped everything. My sister Rachel had always been the favorite. In our house that wasn't a secret, it was a rule everyone followed. She got forgiven before she apologized. I got blamed before I spoke. If Rachel wanted something, my parents found a way to make it happen. When I wanted something, they explained why I didn't deserve it. I grew up learning to be smaller, quieter, easier to ignore. Except for Grandma. Grandma noticed everything. She noticed when I left the table early because the conversation somehow turned into another list of Rachel's achievements. She noticed when my birthday gifts were practical while Rachel's were dreams wrapped in ribbons. She would squeeze my hand and whisper, "I see you." When she died, I felt like the only witness to my life had vanished. At the will reading, I sat across from Rachel and my parents, already prepared to watch them receive everything while I nodded politely like a good daughter. But the lawyer said the estate would be divided evenly. Half to Rachel. Half to me. The silence that followed felt wrong, like the universe had made a typo. Rachel's smile cracked first. My mother looked offended. My father asked 3 different ways if Grandma had been confused. She hadn't. And for once, fairness existed. I should have known it wouldn't survive. 2 weeks later, I was served. Rachel was contesting the will, claiming I manipulated Grandma in her final months. According to her, I pressured, isolated, and frightened a sick old woman into giving me money. My parents backed her. They signed statements saying they were worried about my influence. That I spent too much time with Grandma. That I handled errands and appointments. Helping her had become proof I was a villain. I remember calling my mom, barely able to speak, asking how she could believe I would do something so cruel. Her answer was calm. Rachel wouldn't lie. Meaning I would. By the time we entered the courtroom, the story had already been decided and I was the monster in it. Rachel cried on the stand. Perfect, gentle tears. She said Grandma was afraid of me. She said she heard arguments about money. I watched my parents nod behind her like backup singers. My lawyer whispered that unless we could break their credibility, we were in trouble. How do you break an entire family? I thought I was finished. Then the courtroom doors opened. A man walked in carrying a folder, calm in a way that made everyone turn toward him. He introduced himself as Grandma's financial advisor and said she had prepared something in case anyone questioned her state of mind. Medical evaluations. Witness statements. Dates close to her death. All confirming she was completely competent. Rachel's lawyer shifted uncomfortably, but the man continued. There is also a video. When Grandma appeared on the screen, my chest collapsed. She looked tired but sharp, disappointed but certain. She said no one forced her. She said she knew exactly what she was doing. Then she said if Rachel was behind this, she was heartbroken. Rachel stopped crying. Grandma explained she divided everything equally because one granddaughter had been celebrated her entire life. And the other had not. She wanted me to feel chosen. I cried into my hands. But she wasn't done. If either granddaughter challenged the will, their share would be revoked and donated. Rachel had already filed. It was over. The judge dismissed the case quickly. There was nothing to argue. Outside, my parents rushed toward me, suddenly desperate to talk, to explain, to soften what they had done. I asked where that energy had been when I needed them. They had no answer. Rachel demanded I split my half with her anyway because family. I told her Grandma already made her decision. For once, I walked away first. In the weeks that followed, people treated me differently. Some apologized. Some avoided me. My parents sent careful messages trying to rebuild something they had burned. I haven't decided what I'll do. But I kept the last part of Grandma's video, the private message where she leaned forward and said, "Even when I'm gone, I am still on your side." That was the inheritance I needed most. If you went through something like this, would you forgive them or would you finally choose yourself? If you go under this situation, then comment your story below. If you like such type of Reddit stories, then like, subscribe and share it with your friends.